we are now going live on YouTube.
One day at a time.
Yeah, there you go.
All righty, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Mr. Bullock would lead us in prayer and the pledge.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for the privilege to be here today. God, I thank you for those in attendance, and I pray that as we meet tonight, God, that we will discuss things civilly, and that we will just do our best to represent the entire city and all of our citizens and make the best decisions that will reflect our whole community. God, I pray that as we do that we will glorify you in what we do and say. And we just thank you for your love for us, and we ask your forgiveness for when we fail you. It's in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got me one?
All right, before I say anything, I'm going to go ahead and do an announcement, and so I will not forget that on, it seems like we're in the 8th month this year, it's only May, but on May 21st is the Right Way to Throw Away Day. Do you know, by chance, somebody up here probably knows the hours of that, 8 to something?
I think it's 8 to 3, I'm not sure.
And that's going to be at the Bobby Chain Airport. So if you have some stuff, I know we end up sending personnel over there for that Right Way to Throw Away Day.
Sorry?
Right.
I had to take that one.
I get this around the office, I don't. Right Way to Throw Away Day,
8 to 2.
8 to 2.
8 to 2. Thank
Perfect,
you.
let everybody know that.
I was almost right.
The 21st?
21st of this month at Bobby Chain Airport. So we do put, that is Petal's Throwaway Day. I mean, it says Hattiesburg, but it's Hattiesburg, Forest County, and Petal as well. So that's where we do that on that day. But anyway, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Can I make a motion to amend it?
Yeah, motion.
Can I add the drainage on Coleman Street?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
10. Make that 10. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda with the amendment?
So moved.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion.
Is there a second? And all in favor?
Aye.
Public comment, hey, come on up. Put your fire on. How you been doing?
I've been doing fine. How about y'all?
Man, fantastic. What's going on? What's Waste Pro doing to you?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what they pick up and what they don't pick up.
What you put out?
Well, my neighbor had an oak tree cut down. Thank God it did, because it was about 150 foot tall and it was rotten. But he didn't have nowhere to put the limbs, so he put them across the street from my house. It sat there for 3 weeks. And usually Waste Pro every Monday had a truck come by and would pick up debris. Didn't see him, so I called him.
How big a pile was it?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't, it was mainly some brush and limbs and stuff.
Did it have to cut like 6 foot length?
6 foot, he had it, yeah, because I told him you had to cut it 6 foot, and 6 inches round, stuff like that.
Was it put in front of a house?
It was in front of my house, across the street. That's the only place they had
Okay,
room to put it.
sometimes there's a delay in that. If you ever run into that situation, you just give us a call and we'll get it taken care of.
Well, but my thing is 1 minute they tell me the garbage truck was picking up, in other words, my grass cutting stuff with plastic bags,
Mhm.
and they were picking it up. Now they quit picking them up.
Now they think it's your trash.
Well, but I explained to the man I talked to, that's my grass cuttings and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then I have limbs and stuff that I pick up and put them in a nice, neat plastic bag there. So yesterday, today's Tuesday,
What day should we pick up that?
Monday.
Monday?
So I had one by the garbage can, which was styrofoam in it, from boxes we had put a ceiling fan up. Then I had a bag of limbs over there on the right-hand side away from that, so they wouldn't think it was garbage, because they couldn't think of it, it was a limb sticking out of it. But anyhow, they didn't pick up either one of them. So what do we do? What we need to do?
I would, first off, I would fit anything I can fit in the can.
Well, you built my can was full, because I have boxes from doing the, yeah, they told me that, but, you know.
I would separate the bags from the can to have a separation there.
That's what I do.
And then if they do miss that, just give us a call.
Yeah.
We probably don't advertise it well enough. We're the ones collecting your money, so I think the phone call should come through us, City Hall.
Mhm.
Problem is, sometimes is, we're not really sure the numbers. I mean, we've had people call corporate, they call 4 or 5 different numbers that they have over there. So if you got a problem, just give them to us. I mean, I'll come over there and grab it if I've got to.
Well, I do have to say though, that they did come and, they didn't pick it up today, they said, but they did come a couple days later and did pick it all up.
If you're having to call them more often, right?
Right.
That was one of the things that we ran into, was the grass clippings in bags and them not knowing what it is, and we
Right.
basically told them not to. And that's really a collection issue, not basically in this area, but in an area that's not on our water system.
Right.
And that it's gotta be in the can and all of that. We weren't trying to be hardcore with it or anything. but,
Right.
That's one of the things that we ran into on the back side of this, but any situation, because we've even said, if you've got extra boxes or anything like that, you can't fit in, give us a call, we're gonna make it happen,
Okay.
on our side.
Well, I keep him lit up all the time.
I was just gonna say, just call Alderman Stringer and he'll.
I got it
I'm on speed dial with you.
He's got a truck, he can swing by there.
Well, I ended up taking them off somewhere else and dumping them.
Hey, you're probably on the way to work for him, he can just kinda, he's by every once in a
I've been
while.
doing
But
it
yeah,
too long.
yeah, you're paying us, so give us a call, we could take care of it or another, but it's every week we touch 4,300 people, so it's tough, but for the
Yeah.
most part, they get it right, but the debris always been on.
No problem.
Good news, bad news.
All right, well, that's all I had today.
Thank you,
Maybe somebody else something else.
Appreciate it. Hey, Karen, come on up here.
I just wanted to invite all the citizens to the National Day of Prayer Thursday, May the 5th. It's going to be at Petal Hinton Relay Park at 6 o'clock. And bring your lawn chairs. But we have lots of pastors from all different churches, and they're going to be doing a praying for our city and our mayors and our country and our families. So
What day is that, Karen?
Thursday,
This Thursday.
May the 5th,
May the 5th.
yes. It's gonna be a great evening.
And what time again?
6, yes.
I was there last year, and obviously, we know the timing and the things that are going on in our country, that probably need it now more than ever. So
Yeah,
definitely
and they're
appreciate all
gonna-
the work that goes into making this happen.
Yeah, they're gonna be praying for the family, the police, the fire, the news media, churches, military, businesses, government, education, sports and entertainment, so.
I will tell you about some of our first responders were there last year. And oddly enough, right about the time of the prayer, they got a call when they had to leave, so
Oh, wow,
you never know.
yeah, but love for everybody to come, and
Appreciate that.
there's a lot of power in numbers.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of one of those weird things, I know we get associated with it as city, but all the other folks who work for it, we almost literally get the credit for. But we definitely, all of us, I know, appreciate the prayers, for sure, and praying for our employees as well, and every resident we have out there as well.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
All right.
All right, William Brown.
Yeah, right.
Hey, come on up here.
How's everybody doing? I'm not gonna take up too much of you guys' time. First and foremost, my name is William J. Brown. I am CEO and founder of the nonprofit organization called Cubs and Kings. We're actually gonna be bringing our nonprofit organization here to try to do some partnerships with the locals and everything with the city of Petal for after school and summer program workshops. We realize that the average youth right now is kind of going on the incline because of the summer months and everything is starting to ramp up. So we're trying our best to figure out ways to implement different interactive programming through science, technology, engineering, arts, and math for young at-risk boys throughout the summer and after-school programs and future references for the city here at Petal. So a little bit about me, I just retired out of the Navy as a nuclear engineer. So that's kind of where the STEAM comes from, the background of engineering. I love engineering. But it's just, what makes it so fun now is when it used to be just STEAM, STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. In 2018, when I was in Virginia, we was fighting a lot, going back and forth with trying to get the A in, which is the arts. And that now provided so many outlets for so many of our children in form of being able to do self-expression. We can actually host all type of events and teach them self-discipline and things like that throughout the nature. So I just wanted to come today and just really give a brief introduction of our company. I do have some flyers that I'll make sure that I pass out to you guys before leaving. And I just wanted to get a chance to meet each and every one of you guys. So thank you for your time. And I'll be around a little later after to answer any questions for sure. All right, y'all have a blessed one.
Good deal.
Thank y'all so much.
Maybe I just had, when Jay's had a chance to talk with a couple of us already, if President Alderman and y'all get a chance to sit down one-on-one, I think as one of our fellow citizens, I thank you and welcome your involvement in our community and opportunities that you're going to present for us. So thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
I do remember campaigning and actually coming by your house.
We talked.
And, yeah, I the videos of it.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to get out of the military at that point, and I was just getting ready to retire. And so God opened up a lot of doors for me, and you know, just being in a position right now where I see the at-risk youth right now, the young boys, what they're kind of leading to, and it sometimes it just takes a strong, positive role model. Sometimes I know we all have jobs, some cases we just don't have father figures, and that's what Cubs of Kings is. It's a step up to a mentorship program for young boys ages 8 to 18, and we use science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and we make learning cool through virtual and everything of that nature. So I can't wait to show you guys the technology and everything that we have to go in behind it, and I think it'll blow you guys away. So we just recently did a partnership with Forest County Juvenile Detention Center. Getting a lot of great reviews and things of that, and now we're looking to do an expansion with the alternative schools as well. So we'll just wanted to, like I said, once again, thank you for your kind words and just give a brief introduction to you guys, you know, Cubs of Kings. So,
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Brown.
so much.
Valerie, you are up.
Thank you. Okay, tonight I'm here for Excel by 5. So, for those of you that don't know, every 3 years we go through a recertification process. And of course, we were recertified once again in December. So on June 23rd, we're going to have our X celebration where we will celebrate this accomplishment again. It will be from something to something, 5 to 7, I think, on June 23rd. That's a Thursday. And they asked me to come to you to see if y'all would like to participate by helping us with some hot dogs. We expect about 250 kids and would love to have some hot dogs there for them. And so that would be your contribution to our Excel by 5.
I don't know what we can do as a city, but I'll donate some, whatever we gotta do, Can we do? Yeah, but,
Does Parks and Rec still have their grill?
Josh didn't hear, but I think they do.
That would be.
She said no.
No,
No,
no.
Y'all have one, Jay?
we got some we use here. But that one was rusted out.
Your big one though is, one of the firemen, isn't it?
No, we got one at the station.
Val, you can, I can work with you. I have access to a mobile one that we can cook. So we can store
Yeah,
that.
you were gonna use that one before, wasn't you? On something else.
Yeah, so we can bring that to you.
Okay, so
And like I said, if we can't do that, I'll definitely do something.
that sounds good.
Valerie, what's the date on that again?
June 23rd, Thursday evening, 5 to 7.
Let me clarify, you want cooks, equipment, and dogs, or
Cooks
what,
and
what
dogs.
3, are you asking for all 3?
All 3.
I'll be there to cook.
Cooks and dogs.
Well, that's not, okay, but
I'm already.
I can cook.
I've learned to make sure that we scope exactly what we ask for, right?
Yeah, cooks and dogs and grills.
Okay.
Thursday.
Awesome.
Is that it?
Good deal, appreciate
All
you.
right, thank you.
Okay, talk to you here in a little bit. Just a warning before we get into it, we will have a short, we'll have an executive session afterwards on a real estate matter and a personnel matter. All righty, let's get into general business number 4. Request to transfer the following from the financial department to the water department: a Lenovo computer tower number 2650 and number 2401. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Request to adjust water services bill to 305 William Street in the amount of $678 due to a leak. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. It looks like there was a repair that was made.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, request to dispose of the following items in the Public Works Department: computer tower 2031 and S number 107-504-721. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. You nervous now, Mike? And to dispose of 305 E2 CR mini excavator trade-in for $32,000 towards a new mini excavator. Thank you,
Motion.
Clerk Martin. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I was gonna forget that, Mike, but Melissa kept me straight. Number 7, request to set a special exception hearing, May 24th at 6 p.m. for property located at 256 Collins Road. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. I think this is the longest motion ever here for request anyway.
Rocky Road.
Number 8, I'll get you.
Yeah, but it handles so many
Okay.
things.
Drew, I'm counting on you to make sure this is.
He's already looked through
He
it.
didn't sneak nothing in here, but anyway, is there a motion to request to authorize acquisition of 4/100ths of an acre of Forest County tax PPIN 35539 and 1/100th of an acre of Forest County tax PPIN 29167 for a combined total of $3,500 to pay any 2022 taxes on portions purchased, and to authorize attorney Jessica Vaughn to conduct title search, title confirmation, and closing of said parcels, all for Old Richton Road intersection widening project. Determined the value of $3,500 to be fair market value and just compensation. Authorize the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to complete the transaction and issue manual checks in payment upon closing the transaction. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Discussion.
Okay.
Just, I want to clarify a timeline on this, so we, so we don't have this, 'cause this is a piece that we need to have before we can get MDOT to do our session. So I just asked for reservation on how long, because if they say no, they're gonna think about it, then think about 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. This will, I'm not sure what the recommendation is for timeline, but I'd like to.
Let me just say, I don't have a recommendation with the timeline. I've talked to the sellers and they're okay with this. It's really, I think that will be more on the attorney side, which I'm not handling. But, if this is approved tonight, then tomorrow she'll be sent the materials, and I would assume that she's in this kind of business, that this won't take very long, and that she'll send us a bill that you'll see on your next claim time. So,
Just the phone.
yes, so I don't think this is gonna be a long thing, and so I never even had any kind of timelines in my head. I anticipate that this will be done in short order, just as a matter of course of business.
Got a motion, got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, request to approve the adopted plans for the month of April of 2022. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, Cola Street, I think we're talking about culverts over there. I guess we'll open it up so we can have a discussion. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second for discussion?
I'm sorry. What,
That's you.
the motion for what?
Just to discuss.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
We're all
Yeah.
It's like this is the one time that we put it on the agenda and you're just gonna leave it.
Honestly, we don't have a lot of things die for lack of motion, but I'm getting a little nervous myself.
I apologize. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to say, so we got some information back from John, and I feel like what we got back was kind of just telling us where the ground lays and that kind of thing. I feel like for the most part, we know that. What I would hope for is a cost analysis of a solution. Because what I'm seeing is, anything I take before the board or to you, I usually have an engineer look at it first, because I'm not an engineer. I have a couple engineers I'll bounce things off of, sometimes 3 or 4. And I know there are solutions. I've presented those, but not as an engineer, as an alderman and a kindergarten teacher. And I know that this can get fixed. I absolutely know that for a fact. So I think we're asking the engineer the wrong way. What's the right way to ask that? We want a solution for this problem. What size should that culvert be? How much will it cost and that kind of thing? Because I'm not getting any of that.
Well, here's the problem. We're talking about a 70-yard run, and we have less than a foot drop. So the water is getting out of there, but it's just not getting out of there too quickly. What is it? We're not flooding, we're flowing, I think is what Mike likes to say, and heavy rain events. We do have the water going in an area that we would prefer it not to, but no matter what we do in the ditches, it's still gonna go in that area.
Okay, so-
I was disappointed in the report myself.
Well, the report basically says this is a flat place and that the water is flowing but slowly. What it's not taking into consideration is that it's a bowl that traps water. And at times the water is all the way overflowing the street on one side and not the other. So the discrepancy is extreme. I have video footage that, I mean, I'm sure you've seen yourself. And so saying that the water's not flowing out fast enough on a light rain, I mean, I feel like it was just not presented correct. I'm not sure what Don knows what we're wanting from him exactly. But like I say, I do have plans of my own. I've presented some of them before, and I need something that we can vote to have put out for bid. And that's not what I'm getting back from the engineer right now. So I thought that's what we had asked for.
I can assure you, under any circumstances, John isn't gonna say anything contrary to what the evidence is. Obviously, he has liability if he was to do something of that nature. But going into this, I honestly would have asked him just to get the information to, I mean, I didn't think it was gonna cure the problem, changing out the culverts across East Second, but I thought it would be something. You know, if it would have cost me $10,000 to $12,000 to make it a little better, hey, that's something I can hang my hat on. But I estimated $30,000, that's something I'm gonna bring before the board. Now, if this is the will of the board to spend that money in this manner.
No, I don't see anything, like, I'm not getting those numbers. I hear that you threw a number of 30,000 out, but I'm looking for that in what I got from John. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not getting that information. I don't see any
From a
recommendations.
solution
or against.
standpoint, that information, I mean, that's some hardcore data he's given us. And it just isn't a lot to hang our hat on. We're talking about an extremely flat area. We can't dig our way out of that problem, from what I'm seeing.
Tony, there's several places in the city that are in the exact same situation, and you can go look at the drainage in those situations. They look very different. And I know that those were some expensive drainage systems, but the idea is there that this is not an unusual problem. This is not a unique problem. It's just one that I feel like we're not getting the proper report back to have it fixed. If $30,000 fixed that problem for that area, I don't think you realize what.
Well, if I thought it would fix the problem, I would have even brought it to you.
Yeah, I mean,
I said it's a little more than I thought it could.
Well,
When the engineer tells me that it will be little to no benefit, I'm gonna bring that before y'all, because I've got a feeling some of y'all will come to me and say, well, why did you do that? We could have spent it somewhere where we could have got some more bang for our buck. So, I mean, like I said, when I went into it, I thought we would get have something to hang our hat on, but there wasn't a ton there. Can we dig a little bit over there, possibly?
Well, and I already talked to Mike. I know that he's got a lot that have come up, especially around Cole Street lately, but he talked about cleaning the ditches on the side and cleaning that out. And I know he's gonna get to that when he's able.
Yeah, definitely for anything.
And that's gonna help immensely.
Yeah.
But the data that was provided is nothing more than the ground elevation. I think that in the downtown area, we need to be more aware with the water tables and the way the water tables affect one another to get an appropriate drainage system for the area. Just simply going by the elevations of the land, that's not gonna work. But there are methods to irrigate and drain out flat lands. There's entire states that are completely flat.
I mean, there's cities that have pumps.
They have great drainage systems.
They do pump systems and everything else.
And like I'm saying though, like, I'm having independent engineers look at this. I know John is very capable, he's a really smart guy, and I know he can come up with a solution for this.
What are your engineers saying over there?
Well,
70, roughly 70 yards, 9 inches of drop.
So
I mean,
basically,
water's moving towards where we want it to go, it just ain't
Basically, what the situation is the main drain, ditch number 3 on the still plan, I numbered it, it's the green line. It goes, from the road all the way to Greens Creek. There's nothing preventing us from lowering that. There is nothing preventing us from lowering that ditch and allowing that entire area to drain out into Greens Creek. But I'd like to see that ditch cleaned first and how it flows, because the problem may not be as bad as we think. I haven't been able to do that yet. The grass is really tall, and we have some trees about your height in there. And we need to get that out first.
I don't think John thinks that's the problem.
The culverts would, well, if we were to lower it, it would definitely add.
Oh, the lower
it's
problem. But then I'd probably be asking you about $150,000 or several $100,000 to make that happen.
Just dig the ditch.
No, if we were to lower it down, we got property easements, we've got several issues with just getting after it. And I want to see it clean as best as it can. When I walk that ditch, it just doesn't jump out that we're having a blockage issue.
There's most definitely a blockage issue there. And if we don't get those ditches dug out on Pola and Second there.
We've already dug those out.
On one side. On one side, when there was new construction several years ago. And they need to be done again. But what I'm saying is, like, to me, I walk it, I look at it, I walk it in the rain. I've been out there at the street department in the rain. I've had thousands of pictures documenting what I'm talking about. The fix is simple. It really is. If you put a straw on the top of a cup, you can say that that's not going to drain
John
out.
doesn't think that.
You gotta lower the straw.
But we've heard, and this is, like I said, I want to fix it from these, but we've heard from what you said, your engineer said. We haven't heard from any of them, we've heard from what you said, but we hear from our engineers, which we're paying to give us, and that's what, we have to look at what we're paying them for, and that's what he's telling us is that if we spend that, it's not gonna work. Now, if you have your engineers come up here and tell us, that's what we gotta know, I mean,
And
I don't
John's
know.
available to speak with you if you want to have that conversation.
I would
with
like
him.
to have that conversation. I would invite a couple of them.
I'm not hiding, he's out of town right now, but I mean.
give it back, all that money.
And like I said, I know that John can come up with a solution for that. I just don't think that we're, and it's probably my fault, articulating the issue correctly, that we need a solution for this. And I would really like to see that happen. So, and that's kind of what I thought we had asked for in the past, but what I got back was a simple plot of elevations that I already had.
I was pretty in-depth, the information that we sent. I mean, it was clear why the water was going to the one specific place that it was going. It's the
Correct.
lowest spot in a 10-acre area.
Yes.
And like I said, I was hoping for a small amount of money we could do it, and I would have never, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. An estimated larger number, and we could get quotes, and if it is a lower number, but with
I don't
what
anticipate
John,
the project.
when what John sees, he doesn't see any benefit from us doing it.
From simply adding the culverts. Now, where I'm confused is that that's where we're stopping. What is the solution? I want to see that.
A pump system, I don't know.
This city's never gonna see.
Orleans Parish and see how their pumps work, or
Who's got a pump?
New Orleans does.
Yeah, they have.
There are some that do. I know they had pumps in the dugouts out at the old ball fields. True story. Matter of fact, Josh was here to tell you, they always clog up and they don't work, but, I mean, that's always an option. We're looking at detention ponds over in Ward 4, to try to help out with that situation, but honestly, I did, just looking at it, I thought it was,
So, but I mean, I
I thought it was gonna be a little
understand, if
simpler.
John was told like, will enlarging this fix the problem, when he's saying, well, not much. I need to know.
I
what's
mean, we
gonna
had a
fix the
deeper
problem.
conversation than that.
Not that I,
In fact, I rode with him when we kind of walked the ditch, that goes to Greens Creek. And don't get me wrong, cleaning out the ditch, it's never bad to clean out a ditch. You do also run the risk of, under high water circumstances, that Greens Creek's shooting water back up Culver Street. So you do run that risk as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything that the board sees as, making it better.
okay, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna get with,
Give us a couple
John,
hours and give it to John, he'll be back in next week.
and like I said, I'd like to get that ball rolling, because I'd like to get that out to bid before as soon as possible. All right, thank you for your time.
Keep an open mind with all of that, if you would. Okay, and now, we're in a weird spot here. Now, how would you like to handle it? We got a motion and a second and a discussion
We
and
discussed it.
Yes, there's
no motion to be made. There we go. All righty. We're breaking ground. We're groundbreaking board here. Orders and no seminars and travel. Number 10, orders and ordinances. Request to adopt, we'll talk about some of these too. Request to adopt ordinance regulating door-to-door sales. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Y'all good with everything? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Now we're gonna have some discussion.
Good.
Request to adopt ordinance regulating mobile food vendors. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
I know we had some discussions earlier about there were some places that were left off of a potential area that people could service. I know that we've got one operating up across from Greens Creek Baptist Church. So I would like to add to one of the locations, and y'all may want to add some more, would be from Fairchild Road on Old Richton to Ark Lane. That would cover pouring them at the crawfish. And anything else y'all want? Any other thoughts on any of this stuff? I know, Drew, you mentioned the YMCA and stuff like that.
Well, I think, I don't think it's ready to publish yet. I mean, once we discuss it, I think we have some back and forth, some issues. I actually have some RFIs out to the Department of Health to clarify some issues I talked to the attorney about. I'd like to get their responses back, but I think, it's a great initial start. For instance, one thing I was talking to Alderman Bullock here is, first thing we define, what a mobile vendor is, and we basically say consistent basis for a period of more than 7 days each calendar year. It was originally 15, and actually, my initial recommendation was to put on 7 days. But what that really means is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that someone can come in for 6 days and not have to pay city taxes. And we don't really have a mechanism to track how many days they come in. So they could say, I'm on day 6, 12 times. And so I don't know, maybe day 1 is when we require this, say, hey, you gotta have, because I think there's 2 issues here. One is safety of our citizens, an opportunity for, and then plus a quality of life, because we want people to have these are pretty good a lot of times to come in. But we also want to make sure we're fair to our brick and mortar stores. It says that if someone buys something from one of these vendors, we want them, they collect their 10% sales tax. We want it to come to the state, we want our portion to come to City Federal, not go to wherever their home of record is on an LLC. And I know from talking to Craig from a business perspective, and also that, that's every 30 days, that's onus on the responsibility of the business owner to do so. And, you have to have faith that he's going to do that. And like I said, when you go for 6 days and not pay at all, let's say they do, $5,000, big weekend or a big day, that's what, 3% plus all that, it's anywhere about 100, that's almost $900 that we, not $900, $150 that we're missing out each event. So you multiply that by a lot of times, and I know we're all going to talk about the money, we're talking about fairness and get a chance. So I'm still kind of debating whether 7 days is too many, because again, we want to divide people, we want to be business friendly, but we also, I think, like you said, we want to be fair and honest, and in doing so.
Always call one of those other cities that had 15 days and ask them why they come up with that.
You said you're waiting for some information back.
Well, I'm coordinating the Department of Health on actually some other issues. For instance, the Department of Health, and I don't, and when we talk to attorneys, we can't investigate and control everything because there's levels of authority above us, state regulations and all that. But some of the state of, the Department of Health does, and I'm trying to clarify, it's not clear on their website, is that, a mobile vendor, when they get their health permit, which everyone should have, and I think what I like in our ordinance, we basically have a lot of preconditions, like they gotta have their state certificate, they gotta go through the city fire to make sure they're, they're certified, and we trust those separate organizations do their job. But then it's an enforcement issue, because one of the things the state health does is, when you apply for your health permit, to my understanding, is that you say, well, I'm gonna be at this site, this site, and this site. And then you also validate that, if your mobile food vendor's vehicle or trailer does not have a bathroom or latrine or bathroom, then you have access to one. So, there's would potentially be a time when we would do a permit say, hey, you're good to go, you know, you,
We would only do it if they had a health department permit.
well, instead that health permit would say, and, you know, again, that, we wouldn't see that, because, you know,
But we have to have a copy.
yeah, I'm saying we would see that their permit, but that doesn't show their locations. And so when they say, and we apply, and they say, we want to go here, we approve them to go to, you know, YMCA or outside YMCA on a Sunday when it's closed, and there's no access to the bathroom. You know, the health inspector could come and say, you're closed down, and then the vendor's gonna say, but the city approved you to be here. And so you got two, you know, conflicting, you know, who does the food, you know, what authority level takes precedence? I would believe the state will, because they're gonna say, you're out of the state. But again, is that fair to business owner if he's got 250 hot dogs? You know, he bought, and I said, well, I can't sell these now, or whatever. So I don't know the answer around that. Because I did an RFI that clarifies this, how you do that, and
The idea was to put it on the permit.
yeah, the permit is kind of say, hey, you know, this is a caveat, you know, make sure you have that, and that might be the simple, for that portion of it.
Sign off on it.
And then they got their pass on it. And then,
We're not responsible for enforcement or of health department regulations.
Right. So it's like the fire department, if they bring one truck up here and the fire department passes it, so we go ahead and give them a thing, but they go out there and they're in a different truck that's not the one the fire department inspected, and the fire department will shut them down. That's not on us.
well, actually, it is on us, City of Pelican. I mean, the firefighters represent it, so,
It is us.
you know, that's, you know,
Yeah, but it's not, we're not refunding your permit because you came in here in the truck, it's not the one that
yeah,
got
there's always a
inspected.
responsibility of the business owner to do the right thing, so. You know, so that, and I think that caveat, we're going to include that kind of disclaimer, like an asterisk, say, hey, the location we approve you needs to be the same one you approved that, on your health permit. What I was told, that a lot of times those health permits don't always reconcile with what actually happens, because when you apply for it for a year, things change. For instance, one organization says that, the email I got was that, well, they're certified for Hattiesburg. Well, we know one of them's operating Pedal. Like, well, that's not accurate. Again, that's not our, that's our role to police the health department's permit. But again, when they impact our city,
Where's the money going?
yeah. So I guess I'm concerned about the 7 days. So that, again, we want to make sure what's the sweet number? Is that the right number? And how do we enforce that? I mean, Mayor, you're kind of your team going around saying, hey, your bricks and hot dog stand was here for 5 straight days or 6 days. The 7th day, well, you're kicked out unless you go get a permit.
I had that, basically the same conversation with somebody over in Hattiesburg, and they had the same concern. And if you're a brick and mortar and $1.5 million building, you're gonna have that same, like, I wonder where those tax dollars are going. So, that's a tough one. So, yeah, I don't mind a shorter period of time on that, but, obviously, with some of the stuff still moving on this, I don't mind this, soaking for another 2 weeks.
And maybe we ought to, socialize it, we both, so there's a lot of great input. I actually got a lot of calls. I think if we put it out there, say, this is our current, draft version 2, I don't think it would, I think we get some good comments and back on it. So I think, it allows us to kind of, like I said, soak it, and to confirm, what we think is true, because we want to have a good general policy that's efficient and effective to use, and not be too heavy-handed, because like you said, Mayor, we had the best success with one of our local, entrepreneurs go from a food truck to a brick and mortar. Not that that's the goal we want everyone to do, like, you can make great efficient food truck for, we just want that capability here. And I'll also add when we look through this on, and actually it's come through talking with the attorneys, we were very specific about power. And in the way it's written as such, is that we require them to have generator power versus given a truck the option to do shore power. And so, so that's something that I would expect to come up from some good feedback from people who do this for life, do this for the business, because we want to make sure we are smart about what we have. For instance, there's another line that says, no music or no speakers. Well, then we just outlaw every ice cream truck in the town. And I don't want to be that alderman that votes for that.
I'll be that alderman.
But I see this too. We don't want to have some of the blaring at 55 decibels or 100. But is there a way around that? because if we find a way around it, someone will find a way around it. We want to support that. And, so, like I said, this is a very important ordinance, Mayor, that you really, it's a great idea, and we want to in place. It just, this is some top level stuff as I dig into it, and it really is through a lot of the public community feedback, like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, I don't run a food truck, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's my discussion. We table it and go from there.
Did I make the motion?
Gerald had the motion. Gerald, if you would change your motion to tabling.
Okay, I'll table it, or motion to table it, but I would ask this, Drew, I hear everything you're saying, but I'm not catching exactly what it is that you're wanting to change, other than like, we need more discussion.
Well, great point. I mean, I would look at the number of days, let's be, and actually have a discussion back and forth, with 7, 15, 30, 3 days, 1 day. Because, I'd ask to say, hey, do we want no music? Because that means literally, the first time I hear music.
And is that in there, no music?
Yes.
I didn't catch that.
Yes, I'd also look about the power, those are things that, that would actually prevent food trucks coming in and, and we'd enjoy it, our citizens enjoy it. So I said, great initial call.
Generator thing, I would assume is fire code, Mayor, chief.
No,
It's not.
that's something that we would look at, though, if they have a fuel fire generator. We would check.
So does the fire code allow them to pull up like a Grand Central and plug into her power?
Shore power.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As long as they're safe.
Okay, so we got a motion to table. Is there a
Like
second?
this,
Do you want to
this
do the second?
But I would just, the motion table and maybe put out the draft or post a draft and get, like some copy.
Yeah,
We
we
put
can
it
do
on our Facebook page and our website, can't we?
Don't we have to be careful, but we're getting into paralysis analysis paralysis. It's
Are
5 pages right now.
these
For
things we
food
can
truck
decide
and
on
pushing.
tonight?
5 pages.
Somebody might get a bad
Now
dog.
we're gonna get 6 or 7 pages. Simplify this a little bit, guys.
You got a motion and a second. All in favor?
I get it.
Any opposed? All righty, number 12, request to adopt an order hiring Dalton McDonald full-time in the water department pending drug screen and physical results. Are motion? Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Number 13, request to adopt an order hiring Micah Dykes, full-time in the water department pending drug screen and physical results.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 14, request to adopt an order transferring Keith Wright from the water department to the street department effective May 4th. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Mike, will these two that we hire, will they get you back to full strength?
It's about, and with moving one, it's gonna give me the ability to cross-train,
Okay,
and it's gonna fill all my available slots.
okay,
We're
great,
going
great.
into a busy time right now, and so we have to beef up, and more people to be able to get out there and work.
Good.
Mike, to clarify that, those two hires brings up and, then transferring one to streets brings you to 100%.
Right, well, we
Does
got
that
one more
include-
that's not on here.
Well, I think, are we getting ready to talk about Mr. Walling here?
Yeah.
Right, that'll make us full on there,
Okay.
and full on the street.
Okay,
That's
okay.
because I'm moving one over the street to fill that spot over there.
That's 3, Alderman Stringer. Number 15, request to hire Clint Wally full-time in the water department pending drug screen, physical results. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All righty, don't really have any mayor's report. We do need to see the need for an executive session, and usually the word gets placed in short, but I don't know if this is gonna be short. It won't be, shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, appreciate everybody, coming here.
Executive
Yeah,
session
I'm
for-
sorry, I apologize, Ms. Davis.
For real estate matter?
Yeah,
And personnel.
that needs to be, yeah.
Oh, hell, y'all changed the meeting date for this?
At the meeting.
The what now?
Y'all changed the meeting date from the 10th to the 19th?
The 10. Well, you'll see that.
Y'all got
No,
10.
you guys see, that's not the plan, that's the plan committee stand.
Oh, that's right, yeah, they do a planning committee here.
That's what,
It's still on the 10th.
it's gonna be the 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we get all that stuff later. But anyway, all right, just clear the room so we can see the need for an executive session.
Thank you.
Was there anyone else here for what's special that we didn't talk about?
I can talk after.
You're Tony, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this might take a while, but, you got kind of the gist. What? Well, no, this was.
No, I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
I thought you were dead.
I'm here.
I was about to say,